Hey everybody, it's Romania Black, and we're on episodes 22 through 24 of season 2 of Ace of the Diamond. Yeah, last couple episodes were pretty drama-filled, and Ochiai is kind of not on my list. He's on my list, definitely. I'm just like, what are you doing? So, Ochiai is causing drama behind the scenes. He's going behind Katioka's back and stirring up trouble and getting everybody all fired up about stuff. And meanwhile, he's also trying to teach Sawamura a new pitch despite it all. I'm like, what are you doing? We got a game in like 2 days. And so I'm really curious to know what Ochiai's game is overall. I know he's trying to like sow seeds of discontent, but I'm like, I want Katioka to call him out so badly, but Katioka's such a gentleman and like so respectable that I don't think he will. But I'm like, it's just so frustrating. So I'm recording a little bit ahead. This will probably be the last set of episodes I record ahead for a while because I wanted to get some up before I went on Christmas break. But we didn't really leave on a cliffhanger last episode, but it was enough that I was like, okay, what's going to happen? I don't know how I feel about it because, yeah, it's true, Sawamura needs a new pitch, and they're going into this quarterfinal game potentially without Furuya. So, yeah, it'd be great if Sawamura had that kind of pitch, but I'm like, do you get a guy a new pitch when it's like the day before the game? That just seems like in other sports anime, that's always a bad idea. You don't try new things that quickly. Unless it's slam dunk and, you shoot 1,000 free throws between now and the game. But that's a totally different story. So, in any case, I'm so frustrated with Ochiai. I'm really curious what's going to go on with him and the other players. And then facing Oya and Go-chan. I'm very interested to see Go as a pitcher on the field with Sato, because he clearly has a bone to pick with them as the baseball school for some reason. But y'all, I'm pretty excited to see what happens these episodes, but you never know with Ace of the Diamond. It's just the drama. It's our episodes in between games are just drama, and then during the games it seems like they figure it all out, but I'm like, Ochiai, my dude, why must you be this way? I feel like he's actively making me want to hate him, which I've said that in previous reactions, but it's true. So, we are going to start episode 22 of Ace of the Diamond Season 2, and we're going to start that here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right. Oh my gosh. So these episodes went by really fast, actually, and I like Oya. I like Dugamori better, but I liked Oya. I like Go's character a lot better after these episodes. I've been wondering, Go comes off like a prick. He comes across as really pompous and a prick, and then I was like, okay, well, when he's actually on the mound and pitching and in the game, is that going to change? And it does. I actually was totally okay with this character, especially by episode 24. So, Sawamura, Ochiai I feel weird about, because last episode I didn't get good vibes at all about Ochiai, and somehow it seems like maybe Ochiai is slowly maybe reevaluating some things, and it's interesting. It's very, very interesting, right? So, learning how to pitch the way that he wants to, because I hadn't thought about this, but back at the beginning of the series, when he first came on, he had that palm ball, and the whole thing from middle school, people just couldn't, he didn't have any control over it, so it just went anywhere, and his team was like, we don't know what to do with your pitching. And then that's where the force team came in, and he slowly like mastered the one style of pitching so he could control it better. But the idea that he can do all these different change-ups and breaking balls is really good and really cool. And I like that Tojo gets to step in, and I kept waiting for Ochiai to make a comment about Tojo pitching, but Tojo coming in and showing how it's done and realizing that he can actually do it pretty well too was awesome. But the thing about Sawamura, and I got frustrated at the end of this last episode because they were giving Sawamura advice and he had that stupid, dumb, happy face, and I was like, Sawamura, take it seriously. But Sawamura can take advice. If you give him serious, concrete advice, he does take it. Sawamura is weird in terms of, he's not like Furuya. Furuya just wants praise. And if you tell Furuya he's doing great, he just feeds off of it. There's a character in Slam Dunk that's on, it's on Sendo's team that he's got, I can't remember his name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but he was like all about the praise. And when he got positive reinforcement, he was great. Sawamura doesn't really know what to do with positive reinforcement. It just makes him like bubble up. So it doesn't work. But if you give him like concrete, specific advice, Sawamura is adaptable and he can learn things. Pretty, like with the breaking balls, he can learn things. And the look on Ochiai's face when Sawamura started pitching all the different types of breaking balls and it was going okay, like the look on everybody's face was like, we've created a monster. And that's what I want. I want Sawamura to become this like monster that you can't predict. And I have a feeling that by towards the end of the series, he'll get there. It's just we're in like the baby steps. This series is a slow burn, and it is all about the baby steps. And Sawamura takes 3 steps forwards and 2 steps back, right? Constantly in this series. And it's just something you gotta condition yourself for, right? But yeah, so in the quarterfinals, we have Seiko versus Sensen and Oya versus Sato. So there's another bracket on the other side that I'm sure Yakushi is part of. I'm convinced. And whoever the top team out of that. So basically, the top 2 teams are going to play in the semifinals. Either Sensen and Seiko versus Oya or Sato. One of those teams are going to play. And then I'm predicting Yakushi's going to win in the other bracket because they're really the only team we've heard of in the other bracket that's had a lot of focus on it is Yakushi. So I'm sure Yakushi's going to win it. I feel like Sato is going to make it to the finals against Yakushi. The question is, are they going to beat Yakushi or not? That's going to be the thing. Are they going to beat Yakushi and make it to nationals or not? That's what we don't know. But I feel like they're going to beat this team, and then they got to face a team after that. So that's my predictions, because I think they're still going to beat Oya in this. They're up by 1 point now, so it's just whether or not Sawamura can keep them up by 1, right? So yeah, the third year's coming to watch. I love it. I love the third year's coming to watch the game. That's so awesome. And because when they said they were going to show up at the finals, I was like, man, we're not going to see them till the end of the season probably. But no, they're coming to the old game. And then the OG Palm Ball, I like that we got that. Miyuki being so happy in this moment, like his eyes were sparkling when Sawamura was doing all the different types of pitches, because Miyuki sees all the potential. He's like, this could be amazing if we can get it to work. And it's like, yes. So I love seeing Miyuki so happy. Seeing Chris Senpai on the field, like out here. I said this in the reaction. I'm like, I wonder how Chris Senpai would handle Ochiai. I feel like Chris is such like a pure white knight that Ochiai would just get freaked out by him and run away. It's interesting though. It's interesting though that Miyuki seems like he could get along with Ochiai by the end of episode 22. He seems like he could get along with Ochiai if Ochiai is not slimy. Then when Ochiai is not slimy and talking behind people's backs, I'm okay with him. I just don't like when he's causing all this unnecessary drama. So yeah, the Oikawa lookalike, the guy with the green eyes, I thought he was the captain of this team, and he was a player because he kept adjusting his hat. I was like, oh, he's going to put a helmet on in a second and come out and bat. No, he's the captain. He's their hot captain. I mean, Katioka exudes sex appeal, but their captain for Oya is pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. But Sawamura, honey, them trying to play the mind games. It's not that they're playing mind games on Sawamura. It's that Sawamura wants to do so well for the team. That's the thing. He wants to do well for the team and make the team proud, and he gets worked up when he thinks that he's not going to be adequate. It's kind of the opposite problem of Mei, because Mei, during the game against Ugamori, was so focused on him being the hero and taking responsibility and winning it for the team, whereas Sawamura just wants to pitch where his team is proud of him. And so it's kind of different. It's interesting. But yeah, I like that Kanemaru is worried for Sawamura's sake. And the whole thing with the mind games. Ichiro Araki is the coach of Oya Araki. And so, yeah, giving up those 2 runs. And we're the ones with the dream. Yeah, so I was looking at my notes here, and I'm like, what do my notes say? But yeah, so Oya's thing about, we're the ones with a dream. I'm like, anytime a team is like, we're the ones that have a dream, I'm like, every team playing in this tournament has a dream to go to nationals. I mean, all of them do. So Oya, Go is interesting in saying that, but Go, his sidearm being super confident, like Go is a good pitcher and he's super confident, but we'll talk about what his big weakness is, and it's kind of going back to other pitchers in other games and the same problem that's faced them. But the idea of Sawamura staying confident, like there's a moment where after Go uses that sidearm pitch in episode 23 that everyone gets kind of nervous and they don't think that things are going to work out. And here's the thing, when Sawamura is down, that's when there's a problem. Because Sawamura, throughout the entire series, is always the source of positivity and, like, the sunshine character. So Sawamura has always been, like, when the team feels down, like, the team is starting to figure, like, when Kuromochi and them are like, oh, they figured us out. They figured out all of our plays. And Sawamura's like, just switch gears. Let's just change it up. Like, Sawamura is always positive. And I feel like he's positive when the other team isn't. It's when Sawamura has a confidence issue that the other team has to step up its game. And I feel like that's becoming fewer and fewer, far in between. So I feel like if Sawamura is going to become the ace, he's going to have that positive spirit to, like, uplift the team when they're feeling down. And that's going to kind of set him apart from Furuya maybe in a little bit. But yeah, Nabe telling Miyuki the strategy about the fielding. Nabe was MVP of this episode for sure. But Tojo's been doing good. Zono with that weird face. That was genuinely terrifying the first time he popped that face out. I was like, what are you doing? I put my notes like WTF with like a face on it. Like, what, Zono? But Sawamura, not a good batter. He's good at bunting. He's really good at bunting, but not good at batting. Poor guy. But yeah, Nabe's scouting ability, he is our MVP of this episode. I love it. And I love that there's a moment between Haruichi and Sawamura in the dugout where they're like getting some camaraderie forming. I feel like the last couple of games Haruichi has like been stuck by Furuya's side to like support Furuya, but since Furuya's not playing in this game, then Haruichi kind of interacts a little bit more with Sawamura, and I really like that. I like that Sawamura's like, I'm going to send all the balls to you, and he's like, you don't have to do that. I like it. But here's my thing. I mean, Nabe's scouting ability, and like Katsuyoka said, he didn't just watch the video one time. He watched it over and over. Like, he was on the ball, literally. But so I think Nabe deserves a lot of praise. I'm going to talk about him again later. But I think it's pretty much worth noting that Sawamura has a low pitch count. Like, pretty much. That's always been a big focus in this series, that certain pitchers have, like, at the very start of the game, Oya was like, it took him 13 pitches to get 2 people out, where it took Sawamura 5 in the same inning. Or they talk about, like, how Furuya pitches heavy and how May be pitching heavy. Like, the pitch count has constantly been a thing brought up in this series. But lately, in the last couple of games, Sawamura's has been pretty low. Like, he just gets people out. And it's like, that's what you want. So I like that that's a nice, subtle little way of showing that Sawamura is being reliable. He does have skill. And even, I love when Araki comments, he's like, oh God, he's too dumb for our mind games. It's like, our mind games don't work on him. No, he's too dense for them, unfortunately. But I like that he comments, he's like, is this the power of a secondary pitcher? It's like, nope, it's power of an ace. He's just not an ace yet. So then we have episode 24, which is the 6th inning. It's 2-1 at the time. And Go keeps calling them gorilla brains. But it's like, no, they're not dumb. Just because they're at a sports school that's not academically focused, they're not dumb. Like, Nabe's scouting ability and everything, it helped them, but they know how to pick up on plays and how to put Nabe's information in action. Like, they're not stupid. So they don't get here just by being powerful physically alone. Like, they know what to do. I mean, Miyuki's pretty much a prodigy in terms of being a catcher. But yeah, the thing about Go, I like Go more as a character in these episodes because he shows he's a little more human. He's not just like some pompous robot. But the thing of it is, and several pitchers in this series have done this, when they start to think ahead instead of focusing in the moment. There's a moment at the start of episode 24 where Zono's up to bat and Go is predicting what's going to happen. He's like, well, I'm going to start out this ball and then pitch this after I pitch this. It's like, you can't predict that. And I think a lot of these pitchers in the series, they get ahead of themselves and then they get lost in the moment, and that's when plays like Zono's happen, right? But I love it. Haruichi being adorable when he's like, did this when he got on a base. I love Haruichi doing that little pose. It's so cute. Nabe figured out the strategy. Everybody looks good in this set of episodes. Like the animation, everybody was looking great. Miyuki looked great. There was a shot of Haruichi and Miyuki coming up to bat. They all looked good. Like, Sawamura looked good in this episode. Like, everybody, even the animation on Go, like his smile, his cocky smile and everything, it all looked good. The animation was pretty solid in this episode. I say everybody looks good, and there's Zono's face. Zono's, like, stone face. But that hit, I love that Ochiai's perspective is maybe changing. That he's seeing Zono and Sawamura make these plays and do good. And he's like, I wrote them off as being useless, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. I like the idea that Ochiai might be challenged. His perspective and the way he's been thinking may be put to the test, right? I love it. And then one thing I also love is that talk that the coach has with Go right towards the end of the inning, where Go acknowledges to the coach, he's like, it's my bad, I messed that up, I let him get an extra run, I shouldn't have done that. And the coach is like, it's fine, we figured it all out. The dynamic between Go and the coach, I was instantly thinking about how different that was from Konitomo and Mei in the Inashiro game, which granted, the dynamics of that game were drastically different, but I don't think I could ever picture Mei going up to the coach being like, sorry coach, I gave those runs away, it's my bad, I'm going to work on fixing that. Like, Mei would never admit that, right? And I like that this Go guy, he's very respectful to his coach. It's almost like he's talking to a teacher, which later on, when they're practicing, the coach is like a teacher, like he's giving a lecture to them and telling them about all the different strategies. And I love his line where he says, don't trust the theory. Just because it's a theory doesn't make it true, right? It's not fact, it's just a theory, right? And he's like, copying doesn't make us better alone. He's like, we can't just copy the strong players and think that that's going to work. No, we have to develop our own style that fits for us. And I love that example that he gives of how they feel when they hit the ball, like where they hit it that's best, and it goes against the theory. I love that. I love Araki a lot as far as him being a coach and probably a teacher goes, but I really liked Go's respect to him. Like, I thought that was really, really nice. It made me like his character a lot more. I'm like, wow, you are really respectful and considerate to your team and your coach. You're just kind of cocky about it sometimes because you're really smart. Nice. Also, I noticed that Kanemaru did not call Sawamura Sawamura anymore. He called him Wamura. Instead of Sawamura, he called him Wamura. And I was like, oh, we're getting a new nickname for him now. We're not calling him Sawamura anymore. It's just Wamura. I like it. I like it's developing. And so we're in the 6th inning. And Sawamura, I just want him to be confident. And I feel like his confidence is a little bit shaken. But Miyuki's like, baptism by fire. We're going to make you throw this changeup. And we're going to try it again. I like that animation where he's like, we could do the changeup. I had to clear my mind. That was really good. But he's going to make Sawamura do the changeup and go at it. And I like Kuramochi just kicking him into gear, being like, quit it. We're fine. We trust you. We're starting to rely on you. Don't make us change our minds. I just want them to win, and I want them to do good. It's the 6th inning. I don't know. I would like Sawamura to close out this game. I really would. But I don't know. I would like him to close out this game, but I can understand if he's having confidence issues. I can understand if he puts in Nori, because Nori needs some screen time. Whether it's this game or the semifinals, Nori needs some screen time because our boy, you can tell he's getting hungry. He wants to do some pitching, and I feel like Nori needs to do that. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know if we're going to get to that point that he's going to be able to pitch in the next thing, but Hiro Kasuga, our main cleanup, is up to bat. So I'm like, I feel like Sawamura is going to do the changeup because Miyuki wants him to do it. The question is it going to work or not? I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I just don't know. So, I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm really excited. This game, these set of episodes, there's not as much to talk about because it was mainly Sawamura getting in his groove and Oya being put to the test. Like, it seemed at the start of these episodes that things were going by really fast. And I was like, are we just going to montage through this game? But no, we're going to do it. But we're already to the 6th inning. I feel like the next set of episodes, we're going to finish out this game. And then I predict that Sato's going to win, but how and how we close it, if Sawamura closes the game, or if they bring in Nori or not. That manager, he frustrates me so much. He frustrates me as much as Ochiai, because as soon as like Sawamura slips up just a hair, he's like, where's Kawakami? And I'm like, shut up and let Sawamura work it out. Damn it. He flusters me so much. But yeah, but these episodes were great. Oya's a fun team. They're interesting. I did like Ugamori just a little bit better, but they're still a good team. I still like that we're playing them. And I like that Sawamura, he's evolving. That was Ochiai's big thing, is they're evolving as players. And we tie back to Katioka's thing that you can't just build one player alone and expect the team to follow suit. You got to build them up as a team. And I like the Ochiai seeing that perspective put in action. That he's seeing Sawamura and Zono evolve, and Tojo evolve, and Kanemaru evolve, and Haruichi. I feel like they're setting up Haruichi to have some growth too, which will be interesting. I didn't see Ryo in the crowd. Ryo didn't come to watch the game, which is sad. I wanted Ryo to be there, and Jun wasn't there either. It was just Yuki and some of the other guys, Mayuichi, and then Chris Senpai showing up. So, but I'm curious to know your thoughts down below on what you thought of the episode. I thought these episodes were pretty good, but it has me excited / nervous to see what our boy Sawamura does. I just want it to go well. So, in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next time with episodes 25, 26, and 27 of Ace of the Diamond. Bye.